I read in the news last week, and maybe you saw this too, that all the chaplains of Harvard University recently elected a chaplain as their head, and the gentleman they elected is actually an atheist. So we have the contradiction of an atheist who is the chaplain at perhaps one of America's most prestigious universities. Ironic, given the fact that Harvard started as essentially a seminary, a training place for Protestant ministers in the early years of the New England colonies. And what this gentleman said was very illuminating, at least for me. He said, we don't need a God for answers, that we become each other's answers. And it seems to me that to have an atheistic chaplain is a contradiction in terms unless you've changed the terms. And in fact, the terms are changed. So there's people that would claim a spirituality, but a spirituality without God. And it gives us pause to think, how do we continue to evangelize in our conviction that it is Jesus Christ who breaks in from the outside, the transcendent God who sends his Son into the world in our human flesh to rescue us from the power of sin and death. So we don't save ourselves, we don't define ourselves. We are not each other's answers ultimately. We help and support and love each other and pray for each other, absolutely. But the ultimate answer is God's answer to us. And the answer is a living person. The answer is Jesus Christ. So if we take God out of spirituality, then religion ends up simply becoming therapeutic. It's about us very subtly, in some ways perhaps, worshiping ourselves, wanting to feel good about ourselves, making up our own meaning and our own identity in this world. That runs head against Christianity and its orthodoxy, its orthodox expression. Because if there is not this transcendent love at the heart of the universe, if there is not God at the heart of reality, if Jesus Christ did not rise from the dead, then this world is a closed tomb. And ultimately, we're forced then to make up our own meaning, to define our own purpose. But all that seems pretty paltry in the light of the overpowering mystery of death. Because if there's no life after this one, then in the end, what we do here really doesn't amount to much, because it's not eternal, it's not lasting, it's not transcendent. So there's something in the human heart that longs for those mysteries, eternity, transcendence, that we all want to live forever. The idea that we will go out of existence and simply cease to be is certainly terrifying and revolting to most of us. And the Lord has planted that hope and desire in our heart because it's true, because there is eternal life. There is a way out of the power of sin and death, and it's won for us through the mystery of Jesus' cross and resurrection. So in the end, God gives us the answer. And God is the ultimate truth. And God, who is transcendent and beyond the world, has broken into the world in order to rescue us. And it's that Christian conviction that allows us to speak that word of life with confidence, love, and conviction to those around us. This moment is such an opportune moment for us to evangelize. And it's why Go Make Disciples is the passion and mission of our diocese at this moment.